Hello Business 342. This is a quick video on the case, which is Reuben versus Coors Brewing Company. Coors, of course, manufactures beers. They make beers, they brew beers, and they generally aren't known as a very strong beer. For those of you who are not aware, so this is the perception they're trying to fight, which is the reason why this case was brought up in the first place. So there is something called a Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms, BATF, and they said no, you cannot put alcohol labels on your beers for anyone. The reason is because we don't want to have strength wars. Strength wars is pretty much people writing, oh, our beers are 10%, 12%, our beers are the strongest. And the reason they said this is because strength wars will make people into alcoholics and society generally will suffer. And pretty much what happened is that Coors wasn't happy with this because people weren't happy with Coors' image. So Coors wanted to show, no, our beers have good strength, our beers are as good as the competitors' beers. So they wanted to put the amount like 4%, 5%. They wanted to put a number to it so people could see a number and be like, oh, Coors is just as good as the other beers. So Coors challenged this as a First Amendment violation. Now we know that the first amendment is free speech, and this applies to corporate as well. So they said that if you're stopping us from writing the amount of alcohol we have on this, you're violating our free speech. So there's a lot of inconsistencies in BATF's way of thinking. So the first way is that there's no proof that people are going for high alcohol, right? I mean, if people wanted more alcohol, they could simply buy liquor, right? I mean, you don't have to go for an extra strength beer if you don't want to. There's no proof that that censoring this information will stop people from buying extra strength beer or other things like that. I mean, if all the labels were uncensored, so you could see 10%, 8%, and 5%, there's no research or there's no clear proof that this will make people want to buy the 10% beer and not the 5% beer. Someone could simply be wanting a lighter beer. So that was part of Coors' way of thinking, is that if there was labels on the beers, then people could just choose for themselves. So if you want to censor something that's First Amendment challenge, if you want to win it, then it has to be like substantial in the government's favor. But here they said that people will become alcoholics if they see extra strength labels or like strength wars happening. And then but this isn't really justified because there's not a lot of research on this, and this just isn't true. There's no correlation between showing labels and people becoming alcoholics or anything similar to that. So the labels did not prevent strength wars because there's no proof that it did. Therefore, the decision of the court is affirmed in the fact that Coors wins this case because BATF was very inconsistent in its way of thinking, and they didn't consider that to prevent strength wars they could do other things like maybe raise up the tax or increase or like something like that. Label censorship isn't the only way, neither is the most effective way. Thank you.